Okay guys, this is going to be a demo of Anchor Profiler. What this is going to do for you, as you probably already know if you're watching this, is it analyzes your anchor text profile as well as the competitors that you put in. It aggregates that data to give you an ideal anchor text distribution profile that you can then model after. It'll also give you recommendations for how many of each type of links you would need with a certain anchor text, as well as the most used partial and exact match anchor text used by your competitors. So to get started, this is a fresh instance. We just go to campaigns and create. So a campaign will typically either be around a category or around a site. So let's start off with, in the example I did for manually calculating anchor text, I did it for best ping pong tables. There's an article on it on marketer.io, so we'll use that as an example. So we'll just say the category is ping pong tables, and we'll say campaign, create. Okay, now we are going to use best ping pong table as our sample keyword. Now, if you want to use SEMrush, use SEMrush. You can use really whatever you want. This is just going to give us kind of the competitors that we're going to work with. So we're going to say best ping pong table. We'll search. Okay, and now we are going to, here we go. So best ping pong table reviews. We will go to, we'll open backlinks in a new tab. We will open backlinks in a new tab for this. Pong Hero. And we can do the ping pong guys too and look at the backlink profile and see which one we want to get. So first and foremost, we want to go HTTP and HTTPS. It's already set to the exact URL, which is what we want. And then we're going to group similar links so that if they have any directory links that are the same anchor text and same referring domain over and over and over, we don't get the same ones again and again and again. So then from there, we can see there's 48 groups of similar links. We will export. And now we will do the same thing for table tennis. Again, want to make sure HTTP and HTTPS, it's the exact URL. Group the links. And then we can do the export for that as well. Okay, I think you can get where we're going from there. Once you have these files downloaded, then we can go back to our creating a new keyword for the campaign. We put in the URL, we put in the brand, we upload these files. You can actually just drag these files in just like that and drop. Okay, now we have it all filled out. We have our keyword in here. We have our money site example. We put in the brands or the anchor text that we would like to consider as brands. We've uploaded a file for each. We've done that for the 3 competitors. Now we click create. Okay, so as you can see, here's our anchor text overview. So what you're going to have first is you're going to have your money sites overview. And we can see here there's the breakdown with a graphical representation of each of the types. So we have branded anchors by type. There are 10 total links to this URL that we were able, that Ahrefs has indexed. So we have 3 branded, 4 long tail, 2 naked, and 1 unknown. So we can do a little bit of refining. It's super easy to classify the unknowns. We'll do that in a little bit. First, I want to just kind of give you an overview. So we scroll down and we can see our first competitor. There are 25 total links to this site. Again, we can see here that they have 40% partial match, 12% branded, 8% empty. And we can go on and we can continue to see each of the different anchor text profiles for each of the competitors. And then down here you'll have kind of the most used of the anchor text, just so you can scroll through and see kind of the top ones that are used. So then on the right, this is where really you get some great information. So this gives you the ideal anchor text distribution as an aggregate. So this is going to take all of your competitors' anchor text ratios, and then it's going to spit out what the average or the aggregate is going to be. So in order to mimic a first page ranking anchor text distribution, you would want to have 6 branded, 16 empty, which is typically an image backlink, 1 exact, 33 long tail, 9 naked, 10 partial, and then again we'll update the unknown here. Take a few seconds to get those done. So now what it's going to do is it's going to compare, these are anchors needed by type, it's going to compare this aggregate to your actual profile. So as we can see here that we have 3 branded, whereas branded should only be at 6%. So in reality, we would want 1 less branded. You could either, if these are PBN links, you could remove a branded, or if you just want to increase all the others. So we could see 1 less branded. We need to add 5 empty. We don't need any more exact. We need 7 long tail, 1 naked, 3 partial, and then again the unknown will move towards. So this gives you a really good idea of, hey, I need to buy X amount of links to achieve a similar number of links as my competitors that are on page 1, and these are the exact types. These are the exact types of links, or anchor text, excuse me, that you should send when you're buying those links. And not only that, we can go down a little further. These are the most used or most frequently used anchor text, both exact and partial, by your competitors. So if you're trying to think, okay, I have a link that's going to have a ton of juice behind it. I want to make sure to use some sort of exact or partial match, but which one should I use? Again, what are your competitors using to rank on page 1? What is Google already saying they're like? Well, right here, outdoor ping pong table, that's the #1 used partial match keyword that your competitors are using. So the best links that you're going to send, and let's see, we need additional 3 partial match. So maybe we do this one, and this one to give ourselves some diversity. This really gives you a very clear view of how to choose your anchor text and how the distribution of your anchor text type should be. So next we'll go over how to quickly walk through the links, how they've been classified, and how to update them. Okay, so in this one we're going to go over and show how you can go in and update any unknowns that come through. The system does a pretty darn good job at identifying the anchor text type, but there's some stuff that we're constantly updating algorithm to try and make it more accurate. There's going to be some human involvement in this, and it just depends on how accurate you really want to get. If this gives you a really good idea of what it's how you need to proceed, then don't take the extra time. If you're in something that's hyper competitive or you just want to be really exact, then take a couple seconds and you can update the unknowns. So we'll click here. This lets you go into the backlinks and update their types, as well as I've gotten a lot of questions from people saying, well, what about hidden PBN links? Well, if you can find a competitor's hidden PBN links, then this is the place to add those links. Also, for your money site, you want to make sure that your hidden PBN links are being included in your anchor text distribution profile. So this is where you would go in, and if you have some exact or partial matches, you would go in and put ping pong tables, and here put in the source URL, whatever it is, www.mypbn.com/test, and you can hit submit, and now this will get added to your anchor text profile. And as you can see, it figures out that this is a partial match type for you. So we'll come in here, right here, mostly featured table tennis. Okay, I would say that's a partial. So click update. Okay, that's updated. That's all it takes. So now we'll go back to keyword overview, and you'll be able to see our anchor text profile. It's changed. We no longer have any unknowns, and we can see how the distribution is. We can do that same thing for each of our competitors. Let's go in. It looks like there's one unknown in here. Scroll down to the unknown. Table tennis reviews, definitely a partial. So come in. Partial. Good to go. As you can see, this starts to get smaller and smaller as we go through and identify any of the unknowns. So there's a bunch of unknowns in this one. This is the last one we'll do, just so you can see the... Okay, favicon. I would say that's probably miscellaneous. Maybe you could consider it branded, but we'll update that to miscellaneous for now. See, this is one thing when it's the author's name. You could call that branded. Miscellaneous, it's kind of dealer's choice. Go to, let's call that branded. And again, there's no page refresh, which is nice, so you can do this pretty quickly. Now you want to be consistent here. I'm kind of just going through willy-nilly, but fun games, we'll call that miscellaneous. Reciprocity of, yeah, miscellaneous. And last one, Sarah S. I think we called that branded up here, right? Let's see. Yeah, branded. Okay. Now again, we can go back to our keyword overview. We'll see now we are out of unknowns. So now we can see a really good example of the ideal anchor text distribution. We want to have 10 branded, 16 empty, 1 exact, a bunch of long tail, etc., etc. And then again, you can see what you'll need in order to achieve that for your money site, and then you can see the most used, partial and exact. And that's kind of how to fine-tune your the anchor text type determination. Okay, the last thing we're going to go over that we've kind of built in for our launch and the original V1 of this app is we also gave you the ability to share a public report. Part of the thinking with this is if you do client SEO or you wanted to sell this service on Fiverr or something along those lines, or you're going to have your VA do the work and then share the report with you. What you can do is once you have this, you can even click this just to show you that you can share it publicly. We'll open it in a new incognito window. And as you can see here, now we have everything. You obviously can't edit the backlinks or anything along those lines, but this is something where if you wanted to show, hey, these are the keywords we're working on, Mr. John Smith, customer. This is the analysis that we did for you. This makes you look like you did a ton of work in order to generate this report. So if you're trying to find additional ways to show value to your clients, or you wanted to share this with a VA who's going to be purchasing your PBNs, whatever it may be, this gives you the ability to share a report with somebody without having to physically allow them to log in and have access to your account. So I think that's about it. Again, if you want to then go back, you can go view your campaigns. We can see the number of campaigns, the keywords, the total backlinks analyzed. If we go to this campaign, then we can create a new keyword, because obviously there's going to be a different page or different competitors for each keyword that we create. And so that's about it. I hope that this is very helpful for people in their anchor text distribution analysis.